Hey, so I'm going to be reading something, but before I dive in, I honestly wanted to talk about a specific scene that I saw yesterday in the Malcolm X starring Denzel Washington movie. I recall one specific scene where, and perhaps you guys haven't watched it or watched it. I encourage everyone that hasn't or has. I mean, you can rewatch it, but to watch it if you haven't. There, it was a night where the KKK, came and set Malcolm's parents' home on fire. Honestly, that uh, it just it's so ridiculous to think about the white community, right? The colonizers enslaving and bringing the black community over, and they've done this with other communities, right? They've enslaved them, they've used them for free or cheap labor, and I've spoken about this before, and I'll talk about it as well in what I read. Nonetheless, as soon as they had no more use for these communities, they still manage to want to say, get out of this land, right? And we see this with the indigenous population and community nowadays, where it's just like, the Latino, right, community that has worked for meager wages, that has been able to uplift the economy, because naturally, if you're not paying your employees livable wages, you're able to profit, right? The very white community that are trying to kick the immigrant communities out are the ones using them for labor. And honestly, this even reminds me of something my prior colleague told me. She said there was a owner of a diner, or I'm not sure if he was the owner, manager, whatever it may be. He voted Trump. Nonetheless, all of his employees in the kitchen, right, in that diner, were illegal immigrants or non-documented, right? We don't want to use the term illegal because it's like white people came here illegally. They did not even request to enter. They just barged in, right? They did so many illegal things, and yet they don't want to take accountability for their actions. They haven't taken accountability for their actions, and they expect to be treated as if they're better than everyone else, and to be uplifted and viewed as model citizens, when history proves a very different image and truth of the community, right? So I want to say this much. Next time a white person tells a person of color that they are here illegally, in this case, I want to highlight the indigenous Latinos, right? Given the fact that most are being targeted, something eerily similar to what's happening in Palestine and Israel, right? A form of ethnic cleansing. Remind the white folks that their ancestors came here from Europe uninvited, ravaged lands, murdered indigenous and black communities, spread disease, and did the most illegal-ish unimaginable, right? Those using the excuse that my family came here through Ellis Island seem to clearly not remember that the people from their own region, perhaps even family members, came to the Americas uninvited and claimed the land already inhabited, and have the nerve to tell a community that were residing in these parts of the world prior to their arrival as those being targeted are indigenous Latinos. A clear racial disparity, right? Don't let these people allow you to forget the very cruel history that they have inflicted onto people of color, not only here in the US, but globally, because they want to divert focus from the real problem, them. This is something they have been doing forever. If they want to make America great again, perhaps they should relocate to their motherland, in other words, Europe. But that doesn't work for them. Do Europeans even want to claim white Americans? Because the white community always expect others, POCs, to bend over backwards and appear smaller so they can feel comfortable or at ease. In other words, at home, right? Where is home for them, though? Given the fact that they have colonized the world and displaced themselves. We even see this when they make their way into predominantly black and brown societies globally. They expect to be served, but never serve. And if they are serving through humanitarian organizations, and this is, me speaking on work done globally, right? They are pocketing that money and bringing it back to the West and appearing as a savior or authority of goodwill, right? Just to present themselves as and give an illusion of who they are, but is it the truth? Clearly not. So just want to leave you guys with that.